Welcome to the Market Analyzer Show. Got a good show for you today. It's called Ethereum's Breakout, and it's Friday, August 8th, 2025. A lot to talk about today, a lot to jump into. Crypto 74 greed up 12 points today, so it's heating up. $116,500 Bitcoin. Ethereum just broke over $4,000. We're going to talk about that. And Doge up 6.5% today. Meme coins are all heating up. You can see that. Maybe Ethereum and Solana related. Who knows? But the biggest picture right here to talk about is the Ethereum treasury companies that are expanding and grabbing as much ETH as possible, adding it to their balance sheets. Bitmine Immersive Technologies being the top, SharpLink the second, Coinbase Global the third. There's a $7 billion value now, total value in these treasuries, with approximately almost 1.749 million Ethereum being taken out of the supply. All right, let's look at one of these charts here. Here's a SBET. Actually, we'll go into BMNR first ticker, which is Bitmine Immersive Technologies. And this one's heating up. Like, look at that. It's rallying big time. It's rallying off the lows of $30 right there. More than 75, 80% from the beginning of August to now. So yeah, so there's a lot heating up here, and of course, very, very risky as well. This brand new company and their Ethereum treasury holder. So that's basically what's going on. But I do see a target right there at $75. That's where the first target was, and then it kind of dropped down and then moved up from there all the way to $161. So $75, that's where I see this one rallying to, and maybe stopping out at around $60 with maybe a little support there. SBET. Here's another big one right here. I do hold a little bit of SBET, so don't know if I'm going to sell it, hold on to it or whatever, but I bought a little bit down at the lows, just riding it up for now. Missed out on the BMNR. I know I should have bought at the lows, but I think they're both going to do very, very well. So this one right here, just moving above the 50 moving average, so it's getting held up a little bit. That's all. Once it breaks that, I do see it going to break its consolidated pump here, which was $40, and then moving to a $50 level, maybe holding tight there, which is also their first pump, real pump, when they started adding Ethereum to the treasuries. Then it came down and then pumped to an all-time high, not an all-time high, because this company is old. It pumped to a high of $124. This company is being split so many times, so don't let the all-time high of this stock fool you. It's just beginning now, because I believe that this stock's underway now because they're holding the treasuries and they're getting smart with that, with the yield and everything like that. All right, let's check out Ethereum right here very quick. So what has happened? It's broken out of major resistance. Yay, yay, yay. That's not it. That's not all. So it can come back down, retest the major resistance, and make support here and bounce here. First target price is $4,100. Second target, $4,400. And then, of course, the real breakout zone, which is $4,941. Once it breaks that, it's into price discovery, and then who knows from there. But what we do know is that this solid line for now has been broken. It hasn't been confirmed because it's only been a day. So go to the 4-hour chart. So there's only a couple candles outside of it right here. It might stop out here. It might come back in. But this 4-year long, 5-year long resistance has now been broken. So there is a good chance that it does keep consolidating higher, and there is a good chance it does not, in fact, come back in here. And we will look right here. I'll show you back in the first cycle of ETH when it has consolidated and then broke higher. The lowest price you could have got even in the bear market was just under $1,000, which was about $900. So you couldn't even get these real low prices back in 2019, 2020. So this is why Tom Lee is explaining that we are just in the beginning stages of Bitcoin being the new Bitcoin 2017, because he sees Ethereum right at the bottom and growing exponentially here. We're going to talk about RSI first and then moving averages. So let's jump into the RSI. We're already on the month. I'll pull up the RSI here. You can see how overextended and overbought it got back in 2021, even before it hit all-time high. So we're not even close there. We're only here. So we came down to a level of 43, and now it's been moving up ever since. We're only at 60. That's neutral. So there's a lot of room to pull here in the RSI on the month, but that's a very big macro picture. So that means it has a lot of years to grow. Volatility in the middle means that it could come up or down a lot. All right, let's check the RSI on the week. So we'll pull that up. You can see why Tom Lee is explaining that we were just at the beginning stages, because this currently back in 2018 was so speculative. Nobody knew yet what Ethereum was even doing or what the capability of it was. So there was a lot of volatility there, but there was a lot of buyers buying and holding. So we are so early. And you can see just before Ethereum finally broke out, that's about where we are in the RSI right here, because you can see the bottom back in 2019. And then today, today in 2025, just starting to move up. Here you can see that the same thing, just starting to move up in 2020 or 2019, and then really rallying 2020. So we are so early. The rally could be so huge, so exponential. We really have no idea. So I am trying to accumulate as much as possible currently while we're still in this range right here from 3,700 to, we'll just call it 5,000. That's the accumulating range. After that, prices are going to start heating up, and you can see Tom Lee's price target right there by end of year. So it would approximately be $1,100 increase from April 6th low, which is a $14,000 increase, putting it to $16,000 a coin. And that would be targeted to the end of the year. Let's talk about moving averages, and then we'll get out of here. So the moving averages are looking very bullish. You can see the 21 now keep moving up, the blue line here, and it keeps crossing through. And then we'll get a little closer here. So we're in the 1 week, mind you, chart. Get a little closer here, and then you can see the 50 moving average and the 100 moving average tangling, because the 50 moving average is now crossing up through the 100 moving average, which is now much more bullish, and that means price go up. 1 day moving averages here, you can see right at the bottom the green line and the pink line. That's the golden cross, the 100 200 moving average. And the 100 now just crossing over the 365. So this is definitely the beginning. You can see the 1 year moving average. Everything consolidated that on the beginning, moving under, finally hit over, broke down, and then now broke over that 365, 500 moving averages are going to eventually cross here, making a considerably huge move higher. You can see just when Bitcoin was rallying, Ethereum was kind of still consolidating in a bear market, and then you can see that 500 and 365 moving average unwounding here, and then really just hitting bottom and then moving high, moving up just from that cross right there. So once these two do cross, it's going to be a huge rally up. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research and make sure you talk to a financial advisor if you have questions on your own capital. And this is just for entertainment only. Please do hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching.